in D.C. right today about the Republicans and stating that the election was stolen. And so there were many people, I think it was the Boogie Boys or something like that. All of them groups like that were coming into town today to protest.
But they haven't decided exactly about the election, have they?
Well, as far as
They're acting as they decided. The media is acting as if it's decided. The media is still saying, well, no, Biden won, Biden win, you know. But and behind the scenes, people are saying, well, is it really done? Are they still counting? Look, they just called Pennsylvania just now, saying
mm-hmm.
that Republicans did get, Trump did get Pennsylvania, whereas last week they were saying the opposite. So who knows? The media is still making it look like, the media and mainstream media is still making it look like it's done. And so we don't know.
Yeah, so it's like you really don't know what's happening right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but as far as what people are saying with the count itself, they show Biden with a really big margin over Trump's the Republican Party. So right now it looks like Biden is the winner. And that's pretty much what the people are more leaning towards right now, to tell you the truth.
Okay, well, is that the Republicans have decided to take this to the court or what?
Yeah, they're still trying to take it to the court. That's what they're saying. That's their aim.
Okay. Well, I hope that finally you guys can have two presidents on one time.
It feels like we
time, right? All the Republicans, you're on the west side, on the west coast, you can go to the west coast. All the Democrats, you can stay right here on the east coast. And that'll just call it a day.
By the way, you may not have a same president, but you always have the same system. So it's not.
Yeah, it's crazy. They might split off into two countries now, be two United States.
Yeah. Even Trump just announced yesterday the new vaccine that's almost ready, and then you still have people acting as if Biden wins. So it's almost like if we have two presidents, Trump is still in office, but people are like acting, cheering Biden as if, who knows? I'll be surprised if by the time January it flips, then there's probably really going to be a protest if that happens.
Yeah, well, we'll know if the generals have to come. If the generals have to get involved, it's a problem then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting back. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm sitting back playing it out.
Yeah. So I was gonna say I'm surprised at what's going on in Ethiopia right now. I was like, why is Tigray bombing Eritrea? I mean, I didn't know there was beef between them.
Yeah, I saw that on the news. That's some pretty big information right there.
I was not happy to see that, to be honest. It feels like part of me now.
What is it, Tigray? Tigray is bombing.
Yeah, Tigray is. Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I think they had beef before, but those two regions, Tigray is northern Ethiopia, and Eritrea is like just next to Tigray, and they speak the same language, right? Not Amharic, they speak Tigrinya.
Right.
But it's two different countries, but so it's almost like if it's like a third country there in the middle trying to get away, but I didn't know they were.
Well, they're on the Ethiopian side, right?
Yeah, Tigray is on the Ethiopian side, but they speak the same language as Eritreans. You know what I mean?
It seems like the Ethiopian government, if any type of missiles are being launched, it definitely has to be okayed by the Ethiopian government to be able to launch a missile from their territory.
No, the Tigray region is trying to be independent. They're trying to break away. That's the problem. Because Abiy, the president of Ethiopia, is trying telling Tigray to calm down and not do what they're doing, and not like Tigray is trying to claim that we want to have our own autonomy or whatever. But Abiy was saying, no, you're still part of us, you know. I'm like, man, how this
yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of division just right there in that general area, Africa. But I guess it's something that the people themselves will definitely have to work out, you know, kind of similar to what's going on all over the world right now. You know, there's a lot of disgruntled people about a whole lot of stuff that's going on. And I guess at some point in time, you know, people are going to definitely look towards making changes that have not been benefiting them. You know, if you have groups of individual people who have been disenfranchised and kind of know what they should be having in this day and time, you know, I guess you would find some civil strife going on, pretty similar to what's happening right here in the United States. You know, it's been pretty quiet right now after the elections, but you know, I don't know if you guys are aware, there have been some recent incidents going on with one down in Louisiana where these Black kids have come up missing, and found one boy who was lynched down there. They found his body in the woods. They think he might have been lynched, but the family had reported the kid missing after going to attend some type of football game. And that's kind of like been some really big conversation right now in the Black communities. Secondly, followed by King Von shooting down in Atlanta. And I don't know if you're familiar, as a rapper, King Von out of Chicago, went to Atlanta to do some type of album release party, and got into some altercations with some other rappers down there. And he and about 4 other people, I believe, end up dead. So it's been kind of a crazy week. But, you know, that's kind of a scenario that has been playing out quite often in the hip hop world, where, you know, you get these guys come up dead at some point in time, you know, under their label. So that's kind of some mind-boggling stuff. I knew it was some other business going on in the hip hop industry, but it seemed like it's getting even more complicated and uglier. Some of the same kind of stuff that was going on during Biggie and Tupac era, you know.
Yeah, I was just watching some video clips about Biggie and Tupac, a YouTube channel called Valuetainment. He had a former FBI agent or somebody on there that was explaining what happened between Biggie and Tupac, and they actually know what happened. They actually know who did it. You know.
Yeah, I know it's been some speculations over the years about some inside. About some inside people, but I'm pretty sure they know.
Yeah, most of the guilty people are actually already dead. Like the people actually pulled the trigger on Biggie and Tupac.
Right.
Either locked up or dead.
Well, I think one of them was a former cop that was involved too, who was supposed to be like a bodyguard.
Something like that. I think some of the cops were kind of crooked.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, you know, that was during the time LA was a real crooked place to be at back in the 80s and the 90s. So yeah, they had a whole lot of shady stuff going on in that town.
Yeah.
Well, of course, that was a sign of the times anyway. That was all over the United States. Yeah. Well, Brother Money.
Yes, sir.
Give us a report from Ethiopia right now, brother. Tell us what's happening there on the ground, both politically, economically, and culturally.
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters who are following us today. My name is Yohani Paulo Imani. I'm reporting from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, not far from the airport, or Bore International Airport. Yes, I'm not far from that. It's all walking distance. And from what I see around here, it's peaceful. There's nothing really going on except that you're gonna hear everything, or you're gonna see everything about the war fighting in north side, which is the Tigray side. You see that on TV, possibly with maybe news, but people are doing the regularly work or whatever the activities need to take place. In fact, yesterday I went whole way to the end of the city. It's called Bore Rapsa. Bore Rapsa is almost to the end of the city on one side. And I was also down here in downtown. I have meeting with friends of mine. So from here, we don't really have anything going on. Sometimes I have saw on TV as well that they are finding some bombs in some people's house who possibly are alleged to be the part of those who are fighting in North. But in how people are living, honestly, is impacting nobody in Addis Ababa. I don't know about the north side. I don't know about the west side. West side, by the way, they have been fighting, which is called Walega, for quite minute, maybe like 1 year and a half now, I think. I'm not sure exactly when they started, but here on where we are, we don't have anything that is actually seen to be a change for the in the economic side. What I have realized since when I arrived here. By the way, I arrived here on Saturday, like today, last weekend. Which that's why I was not able to attend, because I was still trying to figure out where I am and what's going on. So by Saturday, that's when I arrived. There is a little change I have saw, which is in terms of electricity. The electricity here have changed. The power is on for almost every time. I have only saw one time the electricity went off. Last time when I came, which was exactly the same month actually, we had 1 day off of electricity and next day on electricity. But now there is some change. So very much it seems like somehow Ethiopia, like other African nations, has figured out how to fix the issue of electricity. Back to the culture, that was about economy, I can say, because if there is electricity, very much a lot of things keep moving, you know.
So tell us this, Brother Money, since the new dam was built there, a lot of electricity is supposed to be being generated off of the new system. So you think that may be some of what has curbed the powder outage that normally would take place there in Ethiopia?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the reason why we have electricity on is not coming on off and on like how it was last year. Is because of maybe the dam, I believe, because last year, honestly, it was Monday. If you have electricity on Monday, if you have electricity on Monday, you will have the electricity next day off. But now we have electricity every day. So yeah, I think that's the reason why we are having no problem with electricity. And by the way, if the electricity would go off, this Zoom will end. So
and that's why I was asking you to send me the password and username so I can be backup. I don't think you sent it to me yet.
I didn't hear your question, Mr. Jerome.
Sorry, I was saying, hold on, I have this, hold on. Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
I was saying, I was asking you to send me the username and password so that I can be a backup.
Oh yeah, last time I did not know that you were
in case the electricity go off.
signing. Yeah.
Yeah. So send it to me whenever you can.
Okay. Yeah, so back to the what is going on here in terms of electricity. I think that is one step ahead to actually be able to develop, maybe I can say. Now back to the culture and everything is still the same as I left last year. I don't see anything change here in Addis Ababa, by the way. I'm talking about Addis Ababa. I don't know about maybe other areas. I haven't get a chance to travel and go to maybe Shashamane or other places. But here, everything seemed to run normal. And as Corona, in terms of Corona, I think people are here more a little flexible compared to what is going on in the US and other places maybe. Here, people are more flexible. Of course, at the airport, you need to have face mask on. But in some areas, people really like almost they don't have time for that. By the way, that's how I can say. People are worried about other things.
So how many cases have been reported since you've been there? What are their hospitalization rate, if you know anything about that?
I don't have an idea because one, I don't understand the language, so I can't really tell you to find information here. I have to hear maybe from someone, which is not in part of discussion, by the way, the idea of Corona. If you go in a car, they have regulations. If you go in any car, more than one person, you have to have face mask on. That includes public transportation and train. If you go in buildings, some of them they are saying put face mask on, but you're gonna see people walking in there maybe without face mask. So that is one thing, and then no one has stopped someone in my eyes and say, "Hey, where is the face mask?" At airport, they will definitely, but out here, people don't really put a lot of emphasis on it, like in the US or other places. By the way, even in the US too, it depends where you are, because like in Virginia or in Indiana, we went there in Indianapolis, people don't really don't it's not something that they force you to do actually.
Well, a lot of those places are very rural and spread apart, so you probably wouldn't have the same type of rules and regulations that you would have within an urban area. But yeah, it was reported today Texas has reached over 1 million people who have been infected with the coronavirus, and then there's another state that's getting pretty high up there in numbers too. But for one state to have over 1 million people who have been infected, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so
California, yeah, the other state is California.
yeah, as people still investigated if this COVID-19, whole thing of this COVID-19, if you may have some scam or some scandals in there as well, or political, plans in behind it. So
Yeah,
people,
with the testing and all of that too.
yeah, people are
False
really,
testing. People have been coming up falsely tested. There's been several families here who have been tested for COVID, and then one lady found out her kid was infected, but then the rest of the family tested negative, and basically they went back and had to take another test, and they're trying to figure out what's happening with that. So yeah, it's been some questions around that testing situation as well. Then of course too now, they're saying by April they're supposed to have the first wave of vaccinations that's supposed to be being released, and so we're waiting to hear more about how that's going to play out as well.
yeah. So for the corona here, I don't have a lot of information. I can only tell you I stay on ground because almost every day since I've been here, I haven't been home. I've been outside here and there trying to work to make things happening. So very much we don't have the complex of corona or people being in fear for corona like some areas in the US. That is for, yeah, and which is actually, I say, to me, I believe that's good, because if people can move around and do whatever they need to do to bring food home or to increase the economy, I think Corona is something that when someone get it, especially people here are, most of people are young, even if they get in contact with Corona, they should be able to recover and back to work or back to do what they have to do. So that is
Yeah.
one thing I think I saw about Corona. And
Yeah, I just Googled how many cases are in Ethiopia, and it says it's only like 5,900 and something.
Wow, that's pretty low.
Yeah, and they've only had 1,000 something deaths. And and Ethiopia has a huge population, as you know.
Well,
So
it's like the whole continent of Africa itself have not been experiencing high
yeah,
numbers of corona like the rest of the world has.
yeah. People
So that
thought that it would have
be
affected
something with
Africa
it
more.
too. It could be genetic makeup of the culture of people that we consist of as African people. I know that most African people, they say, have type O blood, and people who have type
Or
O
B.
blood are not getting it as more as people who have type A or B and some other variants. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think B is popular in Africa too, because B is a popular African. Because my in this area, like they call me a lot because my blood type is B positive, and they call me a lot for blood donation, and I don't get to go. So,
Right.
but in terms of getting it, I don't know. I haven't felt sick in a while, actually, even before this coronavirus. Even before this virus, I've not been getting sick that much.
Right, right. And of
So
course, this is allergy and cold season right now
yeah,
too,
exactly.
with the weather and the changing and the environment changing and stuff like that. A lot of people have to make sure that they don't feel like they uh, are getting sick because of COVID. It could be just regular allergy
Yeah, it could be
season
something else.
and stuff that they be
Exactly.
going through. Yeah. So, Brother Mani, Ethiopia, you was telling us right now the economy is still moving along pretty steadily. And of course, we've been having conversation about getting some guests in on the program who are familiar with the African Stock Exchange. And I do know Ethiopia has its own stock exchange. I can't remember the name of the exchange right off the bat, but been discussing this with quite a few people over the last few weeks to put together a program to have some dialogue to give people in the diaspora a little bit of information about where can they invest. Some of the countries right now that are hotbeds to invest, especially with the ECOWAS nations on the west coast of Africa. They've been developing their economy because of the political and trade alliance that they've been working on for several years now. So that looks like a very positive place to be looking at people investing their money. Uh, I also have a bank meeting coming up with one of the major banks that are connected with the ECOWAS organizations, and to discuss some of the plans that the nation building organizations have been working on for the past few years, especially with Ambassador Eric Hanna and her initiative to get more of the diaspora involved in being a part of the economic boom that's taking place in many of the West African countries right now. I do know too that she and President Adu of Ghana have been having some conversation, and just recently found out President Adu have given land to the diaspora through the auspice of Ambassador Eric Hanna. And this is a part of that Rwanda initiative plan to building a diaspora city. And Ghana is definitely have been taking the lead on this. So I was surprised to hear that earlier this week from her and her organization. And they are willing to work with organizations such as ours to be able to help simulate information about this particular project and to also kind of get us engaged in some of the economic projects where we can benefit economically from that as well. So yeah, shout out to Ambassador Eric Canna, former First Lady Ambassador Eric Canna of the African Union. This sister has been doing an extraordinary job for helping to bridge the gap, and she's the female Marcus Garvey of our time, and definitely we should be a part of what's taking place with her organization, the African Development Institution that she now has as she's chairman of. So reporting on that, I think that's some pretty positive information that's taking place. Also, we should look at maybe relaying some information about some of these places in Africa where they have announced opening up their doors to the diaspora, especially Shashamani in Ethiopia, which is some land that was supposed to so-called been given out through the Imperial Selassie on Selassie to the community. Also, Nigeria, they're working on a similar program was taking place in Ghana right now to attract the African diaspora as far as getting land, making from what's in the pipeline right now, I think it's like over 100 square miles of land that the government is looking to dedicate towards the African diaspora to come there to build a city. And of course, they already have two major projects that have been taking place on the coast. In Lagos, they have the Eco Atlantic project, which is really doing very well. A good place to invest money at as far as real estate right now is oceanfront property that is being developed. And then, of course, Ghana, they've a port project called Timi, a port terminal project called Timi in Ghana is taking place right now, and that's a pretty big deal. And then, of course, in Nigeria, with CEO Dangata has the major oil project, refinery project that has been going on for several years, and that's supposed to be going online within, I believe, the first of the year coming up. I think most of the refinery is set up now and ready to go into operation, and billions of dollars are expected to come out of that particular project for refining oil right there in Nigeria. So it's going to definitely you're going to see Nigeria level up within the next couple of years to some unbelievable economic opportunities. Right now is a good opportunity to get in as far as people who are in construction, road building, through from Morocco, like I said, in one of our conversations we had about the continent with the ECOWAS region, just from some information I've been hearing from many of the ambassadors from Morocco all the way down to South Africa, they're looking at developing the whole coast, west coast of Africa. And so big opportunity for those individuals who are in construction, civil engineering, telecommunication jobs, things of that, energy is definitely a big opportunity for people to get in on the ground floor for jobs and so forth. So that's what I have to report on some of the stuff that's taking place in West Africa. And hopefully in the next few weeks too, I've been also discussing with the new ambassador of Benin. He'll be looking at coming on a program on the show to kind of give an address on what's taking place there in Benin with politics, economically, as well as some business and trade opportunities that's evolving out of the one of the former Francophone countries there.
Yeah, talking about ECOWAS, we are actually we're trying to invite someone from Ivory Coast to inform us what is going on ground, because I have here some kind of protesting going on in the election as well. Really elected third time, that's how he said. I don't know exactly, but it's third time elected the president who just changed the constitution. So now he's been elected third time. So yeah, we're gonna have to invite someone from that side, which I have from who lives in Virginia. He possibly will be able to give us more information. So keep that posted so we can invite him. Now, moving forward, here in Ethiopia, I'm back to Ethiopia again. I think I found out that there is a strong or big gap between who has and who has not. Is just like very different compared to people lives in the US. Here, when you don't have at all, and it's too many people who don't have. You know, in the US, most of the time when you see someone who's sleeping on the street, maybe they have some kind of background of maybe being in jail, or somehow they may have, sometimes they have mental issues, or they just, you know, they are homeless in general, like there is something going on. But here, it's just, it's normal. It's just almost to a lot of people are in that situation, which I don't know how the government of this, or the law of the land in Ethiopia is going to have to address that, because I don't think it's going to work that long. And also the city is getting too crowded, whereas it seems like the infrastructure and the way of living is now ready to actually take care of all these people who are coming in.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I could definitely, I understand what you are talking about, and there's definitely a big disparity with people who are disenfranchised on the continent. And you know, being that Africa itself is one of the richest continents in the world, is perhaps the richest continent in the world, to see that type of disparity with people still not getting the basics could be very disturbing sometimes. The diaspora, African people in the diaspora, could assist with. There's many things that we do take advantage of here in the Western regions. We sort of take for granted some of the things that we do have, but then when you get to places like that and you can see face to face about people who really have a real problem with healthcare, could be very disturbing sometimes. And yeah, for sure, I know that we definitely have to work on some solutions. As we are here in the diaspora, Pan-African is trying to bridge the gap, coming to the front to be able to address some of the disparities that are taking place with our people worldwide. Speaking of some other dialogue that I've been having with one of the former ambassadors of Grenada, gentleman is interested in coming on the program. His name is Dennis, I forget his last name. But anyway, he and I became very good friends about 10 years ago when he was the ambassador in Washington, D.C., and wanted to come on and share a little information about one of the Afro nations, Grenada, which is right off the coast of South America, and tell us a little bit about what's happening there too.
Yeah, Grenada is very close to Trinidad.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So that is another thing I saw, and another thing I saw. I think that Ethiopians and Ethiopian lawmaker, they have to address this. Is the when it comes to the airport, actually, there is a lot of inconvenience going on. that is now found. I haven't seen that in other places where they have to go through almost everything you have, and you know, in here in Ethiopia, I saw that it was very kind of inconvenience to me and to other people as well. When you come in, they go through everything, and then they make you sometimes to pay for things that are personal items. And I don't think it's giving good picture, especially this is the head of the African Union. By the way, regardless, I know a lot of you, and me too, we haven't seen what African Union has done for us.
Well,
African
you definitely gonna have to make a visit while you're there to go by the headquarters to see what's going on.
I think that I don't know if that is a good idea to do, but yeah, so it's not far, it's not far
Tell
from
them you're
there.
on official. Tell them you're on official nation building government business.
Yeah, so it's very very inconvenience going on with when you come trying to come to Ethiopia. Of course, they have on arrival visa for anyone. But that is not specific to Africans, because if this is the home of African Union, it should be the home of all Africans.
Well, you know what? With the heightened, I would think too, with the heightened situation in Eritrea right now, they're probably under terrorist alert right now too. So any of the airports itself is probably going to be on first measure for security, and it may be some heightened sense of right now people probably have to go through people luggage just to see what's coming in. Of course, they don't want what took place in Kenya a few years ago with that terrorist attack. That's kind of what's probably happening right now.
No, I think no, that's not the case, because of course they have to check if you bring anything. That is definitely has to be, but they are not doing that because they check what you have, if it's anything that can cause harm to the people and national. They are doing that to
Mhm.
actually check so they can tax you. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they can tax you, and also they in here the country which is the head of the African Union, you're not allowed to go out of Ethiopia with Ethiopian money. It's
Mhm.
very very sad, because honestly, if you are coming, and also you're not, it's pretty much like you're not allowed to come here with your country money as well, because you're not gonna have anyone to change for you. So they say like
Mhm.
you come
Mhm.
here with Congolese money, that's gonna be the end of the internet when you go back to Congo and be able to use it.
So you mean you can't bring any souvenir money like you had like Ethiopian dollars and you want to bring back as a souvenir? They won't let you bring it back?
No, this is how the country works. The Ethiopian money you cannot take out of Ethiopia. I had 3,200 that I took with me last year.
Hmm.
When I was living here, going to Kenya, I thought you can exchange your Ethiopian money to other countries, like, which is what we do actually if you live from Tanzania to Rwanda.
Right, right. It'd be like Thomas Exchange. You go to
Yeah,
Thomas Exchange or something like that and exchange your
yeah,
currency.
yeah. So I took it, and when I get into Kenya, they could not change my money. So the money ended up to be in the US for that much, at 3,200, I believe. So when I was coming back, because the older money, they told me that you are only allowed to come in Ethiopia with Ethiopian money 1,000. So they took my other 2,200. They took it, and
What?
yes, they took it.
That sounds like robbery right there. That sounds
It's
like you
like
got jacked.
someone said, this is the organized crime. So
Man.
yeah, they took my money, and not only that, they took my money, they also took some of my stuff. I had a camera lights you put on top of the camera, and other things. So they charged me. It was like 15,000 buru, which is actually a lot of money if you put in US money. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's around 300. So, and I decided to actually give away some of my stuff and keep the ones I really need. So yeah, and which is unseen actually. There is no one single country, even in other places I've been to, where someone is gonna take something that is already used. It means that you're not gonna say it, even if you said it, it's already used. It's not for, like, if you come up with, let's say you come with 12 iPhones new, so everyone will assume that you're gonna sell them, you know. But if you come with like 2 or 3 phones here, even if they are used, but if you have 2 or 3 phones, if they, once they see them, you're gonna have to pay tax on those. Yeah, but yeah, if they found, maybe you have something, let's say like you have car parts that is in a traveling airplane, and now they're gonna put you in penalty. So that is gonna be like 3 times tax. So if you bought that for 100 to say, and then you have a car part that is new, they're gonna charge you 3,000. I think it's 400.
Sound like they have a very heavy tariff and tax ratio coming in from their customs clearance division.
Yes, so that is, but what it worries me in terms of developing the country itself and opening the country is that you cannot go outside of this country with this country money. And another thing is that if you come here with more than 3,000 US dollar, you're gonna have 3,000 US dollar, but the rest of it they're gonna have to change to the local money. And once it's changed to the local money, that means you cannot move that money. If you go back somewhere, that money is gonna have, it's also been, it's pretty much like distorted from you, because you cannot take to where you're going to. Yeah.
Well, you know what sounds like the logical thing to do? As soon as you arrive in Ethiopia, you should open up a bank account and go straight to the bank and put that money in there. So that way, if you need to transfer it out, you can always do it
You're allowed to do that.
itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know even if that is easier, but I think I have Mr. Dr. What is Dr. Fassi? Yeah.
Brother Ross.
Oh,
yo, what's up there, brother?
Yo, what's up, family?
Good to see you, man. We was thinking about you earlier, bro.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
That's what's up, man.
I was out and about with the wifey and thing, and tuning in. I was listening.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. Well, good to see you, man. That's what's up for sure.
Good to be seen, brother. Good to be seen.
Yeah, so Brother Amani has been filling us in what's going on over there in Ethiopia right now.
Yeah, it sounds like not a fun place to be.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Talking about what was going on with Tigray and the bombing, I was like, what the heck's going on?
What's up, Jerome? Yeah, it sounds like not a fun place to be, man. It sounds like a real oppressive, repressive government. It sounds like some real stuff going on over there, man. That
it's we're not used to break away. That's causing the problem, not the Ethiopian government.
Well, what's happening at the airport is the government.
Yeah.
What's happening with the money is the government. So I'm talking about everything that I've heard, not one thing in particular.
Right.
So, like I said, it sounds like, a lot of stuff going on. I heard somebody say the word robbery. I thought somebody said it.
That's why I say, brother, I'm telling Brother Amani, he getting robbed over there right now with the amount of money they taking from him.
Yeah. And, it's state sanctioned. That's state sanctioned. And it shouldn't have to be like that.
Yeah, I agree.
With that being, the headquarters for the Black race,
Yeah, so yeah, definitely when it comes to the way the money's been handled, and it's kind of like blocking out our fellow Africans to come in here, which, by the way, there are not that many African nations in here. I've been in Uganda, for instance, or Rwanda. In Uganda, special, you got almost everyone is in Uganda. Okay, almost everyone. It's the most of accessible country I actually have ever visited in Africa, where people, everyone like Congolese, South Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Eritreans, Ethiopians, anyone is in Tanzanians, Rwandese, everyone is in Uganda. But here is difficult because of those, just mentioned those problems, especially if you cannot change or exchange your money to here. They are pretty much, it seems like they only accept US dollar and the European Union money maybe, and British money. I don't really think they accept Chinese money either. I don't think so. It's possible. You see, I saw like, you know, and by the way, that is actually at the airport. I haven't even seen exchange place where you can exchange money here. Other countries, when you go there, even in the city, you're gonna see like a foreign exchange offices where you can take your money to, and you know, here I think you have to go through the bank. And for some,
Let me tell you where to go.
go ahead, sir.
Go to across the street from the post office. Across the street from the post office, the major post office. There's shops all around there. You go over there to those shops, you can exchange your money over there.
Yeah. So and I don't. When
It's
you
a
say,
good rate.
you mean my money, if I have like Kenyan money or Sudanese money, or you mean US dollar?
Give them a shot.
Okay.
Give them a shot. As a matter of fact, oh man, what's my friend's name?
Gotta know where to
I haven't
go.
seen her in so long.
You gotta know
She
where to go.
runs the shop over there, next to the post office, across from the post office,
Johanny's
closer
gone.
Closer to the road there. What's the prime minister from London, from World War II?
Oh, Roosevelt or Churchill? Churchill,
right off, right, yeah, right before you hit Churchill Road, okay? Across from the poster bet, You go over there, man. I'll send you the card. I'll send you a picture of the card. But yeah, they do the money exchange over there.
Yeah, so anyways, that is
what's the current exchange rate? What's the current exchange rate for US dollar Ethiopian?
1.237.
37?
Yes.
Wow.
It went up a little
You
bit.
have a whole pocket of change, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, it fluctuates between like
Mucho pesos.
5.
It used to be better. But
You could get it
yeah,
for 40 if you know.
inflation and everything, huh?
Yeah, last year when I was here, it was 1.231, and now it's already
better now, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually better now. True. Yeah, when I was there too last year, it was about 31.
And that is the bank, because they have what they call black market, which is illegal one. That one it can possibly, if it does, the bank is 1.37, then maybe them is maybe 1.245 or something. I don't know. I have no idea. So, but yeah. So when you come here with more than 3,000 US dollar, they're gonna take the rest of it and give you the Ethiopian money, which you cannot take with you if you have to leave.
So yeah, they want you to spend all of their money there.
Yeah. So
how are they gonna know? How are they gonna know how much money you have? They're gonna check your. They're gonna count your money.
When you're leaving, you cannot take out Ethiopian Buru.
Okay. Because when I left, I had some Ethiopian bill with me.
Yeah, you did, but
just spend it there. Just spend it there.
How much?
But they take all major. It's probably best to use your credit card then. If you're going through all of that, you just get a little bit of money to spend out of pocket, and then the rest of it you just use on your major credit card. That sounds like that'd be the safest way.
That is also difficult, because if you are not Ethiopian, you're not allowed to open a bank account here at all. So don't even think about it. Either you need to have a residential, or you need to have working permits, or you need to be Ethiopian.
Mhm.
You cannot open either the bank to put your money there. So it's
Wow.
very, very inconvenience on all the areas. So think about people, our people, Africans who don't have the ability to open even a bank account or the ability to actually even buy visa or passport. They're not gonna be able to come to here and and do anything. In addition to that, it's the communication. Here, if you don't speak the local language, which is sometimes is Amharic most of the time, if you are trying to do anything, you have to speak the local language. Or if you don't speak, maybe those Afan Oromo and the Tigrinya and other languages. Somehow I haven't even heard any other language besides those three are common spoken here. If you don't speak those, I know a lot of people say like English, man, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna be talking like me in taxi and go to where you don't even know where they're taking you to. So people don't
Yeah, I
speak
can imagine.
English here. Okay.
Yeah, especially with a
Yeah.
big city, urban environment like that, you could really get caught up.
Yeah.
You can find people. There's quite a bit of people that speak English though. Because when I was growing up, traveling around, I was able to get by. Plus, I made a couple friends, and they helped me out. And plus, I traveled with friends, that I made friends, and even now I communicate with new friends that I made that are speaking English very well with me on my Viber and WhatsApp. They in Ethiopia, and in fact they're in different parts of Ethiopia too, not even the capital.
I forgot all about Viber.
Yeah, and they speak. You can kind of get by if you only know English, but it's good to know some basics. One time I went to get my phone about 2 or 3 times by myself. I went to get a SIM card for my phone, and most people that work in places they know the basic English, so you can communicate with them.
Really helpful and stuff.
Yeah, and
That's
but there's a couple of local people there's a couple local people like when I was in line, there's a girl trying to speak to me in Amharic, and I said, a little bit of Amharic, and I was like, do you know English? And she said no, but then maybe someone on the other side could they can understand and they might help you out.
Right.
It's like sketch, it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I think that if you say like you need help in whole taxi, if there is 12 people, 1 or 2 may be able to tell you where to go.
Yeah.
May not be like convenience English, but where to go, they should be able to give you.
It'd be somebody there. It'd be somebody that speak English and know what's up.
Yeah, they may tell you. But it's not a language that you can rely to if you really need to know whole information. You need to know the local language. That is really much about it.
Right.
Yeah, like in
Hey,
stores.
Brother Roz, I know since Brother Imani is there in Ethiopia, is Brother Pennycook in Shashamani? Is he there in the country at the moment, or is he in New York?
No, I believe he's in New York. Yeah, but there's some brothers in over there if you want to get hooked up with some brothers. Yohani.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I would appreciate for that if you guys can connect me. Maybe we can have a panel discussion with our brothers.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be having some type of Rastafarian event, something program supposed to be going. Is that what you sent me, Brother Roz?
Yeah, I believe it passed though already.
Yeah, that was the last Sunday, maybe, or the other Sunday, one of those.
Yeah, one of those days.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very much what I have observed. And the life is getting more expensive actually compared to how it was even last year. And there is no resources that are in place. By the way, to build a house in Addis Ababa is possibly expensive more than to build a house in Washington, D.C. or New York.
What?
Yes.
Really? The Bella House?
Yes, to buy a land or to build a house here is very, very expensive.
Materials.
Yes, very, very expensive to buy land here. Like really expensive actually.
Wow, you wouldn't even thought that this being you know, but I guess right now they're probably getting pretty expensive because they got to find some type of way to tax the people to pay for that dam they just built. They got to pay the Chinese back right now.
No, I think
Nah, they don't have to pay the Chinese back, man. They
They're gonna have
they
to
in
pay
the
the
Chinese
Chinese
pocket
back.
right now. They in the Chinese pocket. Chinese say you don't have to pay us back. We own you.
Oh, that's what they
That
doing.
might be the unfortunate.
Yeah.
That might be the
They
unfortunate.
trade money for bodies, huh?
Oh, they said They said you mine now.
They trading product for bodies.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely that is something I also found out. The cost of living here is getting more higher and higher.
Yeah.
The jobs are like really not being are found in nowhere. And even when you
Yeah.
find a job is very cheap, the payment is very cheap. So I don't know how they're gonna address this issue, but there is something need to be happening, or they need to figure out how to address this. By the way, the reason why the housing is expensive here is because almost every house is owned by people who are not in Ethiopia.
Okay, that's the reason. That's what's
Yeah.
What is
going on.
it?
It's being gentrification does that.
What is it?
Gentrification.
No. What's the reason he said? I didn't hear it.
I said that the reason why the housing and buying house and land is expensive is because all the land and the houses and the buildings are owned by people who are not
By
in
foreigners.
Ethiopia.
Foreigners outside of
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
And most
Wow.
of them are Ethiopians, by the way. It's not
True.
like
Yeah.
China. Of course, now China is getting a lot of them, but
Mhm.
most of houses are owned by Ethiopia abroad, who actually come back and rent those houses and take the money with them to foreign countries.
hmm Well, a
Yeah.
lot of the Chinese, and they are there now because of the road and rail development project that they contracts that they have with many of the countries. I believe I sent out some information about that about a week ago over the New Africa Network about the pact that has been signed by many of the African countries. And there's only a few countries that did not sign that pact agreement with China, but China basically are going to be building road and rail from the north to the south of Africa, all the way down. I forget what they call it, but it's a big project that's taking place. And I don't see how they were able to monopolize on a contract like that, but many of the African nations have signed MOUs to allow them to do that. It's called they haven't coined some type of agreement that they have, but yeah, it's just really wild.
Yes, so yeah, definitely China and taking a lot of contracts in Africa is something people need to start to look on with third eye, especially Ethiopia, because these people they need to be, because there's other countries, especially there's other companies, especially black-owned companies that can take those contracts. You know,
Well, they should make sure that I know a lot of economic changes are taking place, and a lot of economic growth has been permeating throughout the country. But one thing, and we've talked about this on a couple of our television programs. We should make sure when you're signing a contract that it's either 50-50 or 60-40. And basically that means when you bring in people in, it seems like most of the Chinese companies, when they come in, they're making those job opportunities available for people that they would ship in from their country, and have like a very small percentage of African people as a part of that contract. But even if an outsider was to do a contract in a country that is not theirs, it should definitely be some type of percentage ratio set up by the governments to make sure that the African nation itself remains on top, and that it also has a footprint foot in of what's being divvied out as far as the funds. Because most of those countries that they do obtain those contracts, they have to go through World Bank organizations and African Development Bank, those institutions like that, in order to get granted that permission. So that's some of the stuff that Africa definitely has to be aware of. People in Africa themselves could be bidding on those contracts to obtain those contracts for themselves. Same thing like here in the United States, they have local, federal government contracts that the public have a right to bid on. And if you have a company and you're able to supply a product or a service, they have certain types of incentive and initiatives set up to make sure that those contracts are divvied out fairly. So that's kind of mind boggles me sometime about how these African nations are allowing outside corporations and companies to come in and do this type of work, and they seem like they are very disconnected and unaware of how to make money off that themselves. So
yes, so
really,
I think that first of all, I would suggest our leaders to come together when it comes to the term, the idea of contracts, because honestly, one country, like small countries like the Gambia, or like Djibouti, cannot negotiate with China and come up with good negotiation. It's just not gonna happen. So I think they need to put hands together when it comes to those negotiations. Another thing is that I believe Africans has no contracts in any country, especially in China, at all. So why in the world China is having all these contracts in Africa? Is that because, so why don't we ask those questions as well? If we cannot get contracts in the country, why? Because it's supposed to be, you scratch me, I scratch you. You know, I'm not only the one who's scratching your back, or not the one who's scratching my back. So I think that's why I can say possibly regarding the contracts, because that leads to the lack of employment with our young people, and that leads to the movements and the protesting that we have been seeing in almost every African country now. People are protesting because honestly, they have no other way around. The jobs they're supposed to be doing is taken by Chinese, it's taken by everyone. People also accept themselves. So people have, because the whole idea is when people protesting, it's not really because they don't want maybe the government, or they just are sick of, like, they're tired of having nothing, sitting home for a whole day long. You can't even have where to work for $1 by day,
But what's happening is the disenfranchised are still being taxed just like everybody else is. It doesn't stop. And then the politicians want the people to go to the polls to vote for them. And once they get in office, just like any place else, the lower class people get pushed aside, and the agenda goes towards those who have the means to make things happen. But those who do have the means to make things happen are somehow become disconnected from the very well people who help elect them and put them in office to be able to, stand behind some of the stuff that they say they're going to do to help the people themselves. So yeah, there's a lot of disgruntled folks right now, just like here in the United States. A lot of the disgruntled people with the Black community, you've seen the Black community rise up because we are taxpaying citizens. You can imagine how much taxes go into running the government, from the local to the federal government. We as the people pitch in and help the police that's supposed to very well protect you come around to abuse you with your own dollars and end up getting shot and killed in the street because they are unaware that people who are paying taxes pay for them to have a job themselves. So that's where you get a lot of folks who are disgruntled now in the U.S., but not here, just everywhere. But yeah, brother Imani, we are glad to see that you're doing okay, and we just want to let you know that we're here for you anything that we can assist you with there in Ethiopia while you're there, just let us know. I know you're going to be moving on to some other countries to visit while you're there. So we definitely want to make your travels and your visit as comfortable as possible. So let us know what we can do here. Brother Roz and myself, we've also been talking with Brother Jerome about getting a nice little care package together for you. And we definitely be working on that this week.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I think that I am going to go ahead.
What do you have on?
What do you mean in terms of
What is that? What is that? Yeah, what is that? What are you wearing?
it's a
Are you
jacket.
cold?
It's a jacket. Yeah, it is little cold here. Not
Yeah.
yeah, not that much, but it is really cold. Yeah, this
Is that like a hoodie?
yeah, no, it's a jacket, just a sweat jacket.
With the hood?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Or it's a big
So yeah,
collar.
it is little cold. And by the way, remember,
Yeah, you need that. You need that over there. It gets cold
Yeah,
too.
it gets nippy at night sometimes. Yeah.
and now it's 3 in the morning. By the way.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
gonna be chilly right now anyway.
Yeah.
What
So
time? 3 in the morning. How many hours now? 7 or 8?
in Ethiopian, they say now is 3 in the morning. It's 9.
9 hours now?
Yeah, it's 9. It's 3 in the morning in
Yeah, it's
English.
9 hours difference there. 9 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's in the morning. I had to wake up actually and come to do this. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the whole reason why I am here, which I hope a lot of you guys know. I'm here because of Swahili. And I want to give you little information about Swahili, or the reason why I'm here, which is Swahili, as I just said. I've been here already. Today is that the end of, yeah, it's already 1 week.
It's Sunday. It's probably Sunday. You guys are in Sunday now.
Yeah, we already Sunday 3 in the morning. So yeah, we are. Yeah, so today is my past week in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. So yeah, so the reason why I'm here, as you all know, or you may know, is for Swahili. That's why I came over to Ethiopia, which a lot of people has been telling me that, hey, that's not a good idea. Ethiopia is in other situations. They are fighting with two different wars, one in the west, another one in north now. That's the government, and people are not with Corona and all those things happening. But I say that we African, we always have something going on. Like if you say, look in the Congo, for instance, they have been fighting for like the day Patrick Lumumba was killed. Until today, there is always something, people always fighting, or South Sudan, or so, or Somalia. So there is the idea of people fighting should not stop us to do what we need to do. And it's too much about sacrifice. So yeah, I come here for Swahili program. And so far I have met with people who I believe they are helpful. And I already have a friend of mine who I met here from, actually he has a restaurant in New York and Canada, who happened to be speaking Swahili. He's Ethiopian, but speaking Swahili. So he gave me a place close to United Nations where I can teach Swahili for free. And at so that one is the first one I'm figuring out how I'm gonna be teaching Swahili. Possibly at the end of next week, we should have a Swahili class going on. And I've been meeting with a lot of people to discuss, to see how we're gonna push the idea of Swahili and bring to the Ethiopian Parliament and to African Union as well. And I have been actually explaining to the people, and when I meet the importance of our own common or working language as all Africans, not Ethiopians only, because A lot of people here, they look here inside Ethiopia because people have like maybe around 80% of Ethiopian have not been outside of Ethiopia. You know, even maybe possibly more than that, because people, when they want to say like going outside of Ethiopia, they actually come to Addis Ababa, you know. So
That sound like those people. That sound like those people live in Washington D.C.
yeah, so honestly, if you see someone who've been outside of the country, they come to Addis Ababa, you know. So they don't really have a lot of information about Swahili, about Africa in general. And it seems like it does not really bother them anyways. And I understand that, honestly. We, the ones who thinking of whole Africa and our things of unity and, you know, but people, like the regular citizens here and other countries as well, they don't really care about that. The only thing they care is like, what can I do for my family? Like, why someone is messing with my cows, or why someone is messing with my food, you know? That's all they look for. So yeah, I've been explaining about Swahili and planning to see what we need to do, and eventually what I have been asking, which is the proposal, they are coming back again. Our business plan is coming back again, and some financial or some money, which we talked more with me and Russ as well about fundraising, because eventually we are gonna need to do fundraising. But also I found out Ethiopia is even difficult to open an organization here, and more difficult to actually bring organization from outside.
Right. Well, for sure, especially if you're talking about it's very hard to open up a bank account. Yeah, that's going to be a very, if you're not a resident or a citizen, it could be a very challenging situation to do there.
Yes. So, but again, we have, because that's why we have countries. We are divided because each country has their own regulations, and you cannot dismiss those unless we unite. For now, we have to abide on all of them, even when they're taking your money. Even when they're taking your real money from the airport, you definitely don't have anything to say. You just do comply to what they're asking, and you move forward. That's why we're looking for the unity of Africa. Otherwise, if everything was fine, then I will stay in Washington D.C. and enjoying my hot water in the shower, and driving my Air Force One hybrid car. So I don't have to take taxi here and.
Well, you see why the diaspora is very hard for the diaspora to leave their comfort of the Western civilization to go to Africa sometimes. That's why you see many Africans leave Africa and don't want to return too. You know, it's a lot of.
Yeah, I will recommend that to anybody to just move and stay here. One is there is a lot of convenience things we are used to in America, especially. And when you come to here, you may not be able to find those things. But also, there is other things here are good, way good than in America. I'm talking about America because that's where I spend most of my time. One is the family, like the attachment to the family is very, very high and strong here, and also food. I believe that if you can afford food, you are gonna be eating really food, and your life is just you do live your life as human. In America, actually, we intend to live our life like we are robots, you know, because everything is done for you. You know, you wanna eat, you call McDonald's or whatever it is, Domino's. You know, you wanna take shower, you press the cold water and hot water. You know, all those.
Well, they need something for sure. It seemed like a business like Uber Eats or some company that like that would do very well in an urban environment like that.
Well,
if people can order up their food with their phone, and
ideally, but the government ain't going to allow that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
they won't even deliver the food.
What he's been saying the whole time is the government is controlling everything. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
that's how Ethiopia is. The government has to control everything, and it's been like that since the communists took over.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it got some good parts.
1974.
Yeah, it got some good parts of it, and but it also got some bad part of it. So yeah, I think even in the telephone, there is only one single phone provider.
One TV channel, one
Oh.
telephone provider.
No, now
Wow.
Now maybe two.
now we have a lot of
Okay, got 2 channels there.
Yeah.
And we can see if they can put the New African Network as the 3rd TV station there. We can work stuff out with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, this is not the one. There is a lot of TVs, but they trying to make sure that they maintain almost whatever is happening, which I believe in some degrees has to be because people in these areas they like to fight. So I think it's good to actually keep them in check. Okay.
Broadcast, yeah, monitor what's being broadcast.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. It's now I saw that in Tanzania too. Now, so back to Swahili, things seem like it's gonna go very well. I'm gonna just push and other people with me. And once we register here, we're just gonna come and register in the United States. So that is gonna be the next step. But again, there is a lot of things, a lot of policies for concerning the money coming from outside of Ethiopia and how we're gonna pay taxi. It's just like another kind of little headache, which I'm gonna have to go through the process. But I'm also thinking if I'm gonna have to apply for residence or there's what they call yellow card. I don't even know the procedure, but that's what I'm actually looking towards to see if I can get, because that will make me be able to stay. Otherwise, I will have to apply in next 2-3 months. My visa will expire, so I will have to apply another one. And after that, I would have to leave the country and come back as, you know. So yeah, And by the way, it was the most inconvenience flight I have ever imagined in my life because I have to stay at the airport at least 1 week.
Whoa, yeah, that's quarantine.
Yeah.
Quarantine. Wow, that's crazy.
Then you had to stay in the airport, Addis Ababa airport for a week?
No, in Dallas before I leave. I thought to be leaving on Sunday, but I did not leave until Friday in the morning.
Yeah, why did that happen?
There is a lot of things. One was COVID-19 test and requirements. Yeah. The second one was me buying one-way ticket because I want to stay here for a long time. So I bought the one-way ticket, and they say that unless you are Ethiopian residents, you cannot have one-way ticket. You must have going back ticket. So which means that I had to change all those tickets. You know,
you never want to listen to Alula. You never want to listen to Ross.
Yeah. So yeah, well, you know, it's whatever it is. As I told you, we are Pan-Africans. We believe in the unity of Africa, and that's what we have now. There is nothing we have beside what we already have on the ground on table. So we have to work with what we already have and see if we can bring the birth of something that we do not have.
Well, one thing for sure, you'll be able to monitor what's taking place with the civil strife right now, just in case you have to leave because it get too crazy. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that while you're there. Try to stay safe as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't think my life is better than anyone's life here. I believe that if my people are suffering, is me too. There is no difference between people who are here and me. Maybe I may try to maybe credit myself and elevate myself, but honestly, everyone is here. They are having problem, and I will have problem as well, like they do. So I believe that is what it is leadership mean.
That's what's up.
Yeah, if we suffer together, maybe we'll overcome together, you know. So
well, speaking of the Swahili part, it may I was just thinking, you know, while you're there, maybe visit an orphanage and maybe we can get maybe a care package together for you to present to the orphanage, maybe bringing some food, and also sharing a little dialogue about Swahili with some of the kids that may be in the orphanage too, you know, as a part of an educational program.
I'm glad you brought that up. You just reminded me of someone over there that I am actually trying to help build an art school. I'm not sure if I mentioned to you guys, but I did meet an artist over there named Alam Gator Chow, and she's trying to also she teaches from like a small house, and she teaches
Mhm.
like hundreds of kids in the area in Addis Ababa. They come like every summertime for like 2 or 3 months, and she's disabled too. She's in a wheelchair, and
Mhm.
she didn't let that stop her from pursuing her dream to and she's also an artist herself. She has a lot of great artwork, and she's published some children's books and calendars.
Mhm.
So, and I actually have a flyer here. I'll show you guys some of the time, but she is trying to I told her I was going to try to help her over on this side raise funds
Mhm.
to build a school. She already has like a computer architectural model, of the school, and you know and yeah, and I think she also has the land. She actually has some land that needs to be cleaned up,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
she needs some money. She needs some funds. So she gave me the amount. I won't say it on the show right now, but
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
should get a flyer for her. Actually, I think I showed this flyer to Ras once.
Right. But
Uh,
that would be definitely a good
so
connection with her and Brother
yeah,
Amani while he's there,
yeah,
especially
go visit her.
if she already has a following as a part of her educational